Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the MTGPL Seasonal Invitational. My name is Dr. Leo, and I'm joined here by one of the oldest mods in the crew, one of my good personal friends, Chaotic Bear. How you doing, Jeremy?
Doing great. It's me. Been a
Good.
long time since I've been on this camera.
Yeah, it has been. You're in a new home, got a new setup. You're looking great, dude.
Yeah, it looks like I don't live in a basement. It's great.
Yeah,
Ready to ready to get some magic done here.
hell yeah.
So,
So
looking at the brackets here, it looks like we had a whole bunch of tempo and combo coming up, but Tensai wants to slow that down a little bit. He brought control to the table against all these people trying to get this tournament done.
yeah, and honestly, I really like where this control deck is situated. Because of the fact that we do see the flexible threats and hate pieces between the powerful 3-drop planeswalkers, Hull Breacher, but also there is definitely some tech here for the creature decks. The one Supreme Verdict in the main is a testament to that.
Yeah, just having access to a lot of one-ofs in here that are good in some situations. The two dress downs on the main deck are also really just as a way to stall a turn, survive, get rid of a something problematic for a turn. That's really neat. Also, good
Uh,
answer to any Thassa's Oracle deck, which we've seen at least two of here.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring up. That's the Oracle decks being just stifled by that dress down trigger is massive. But it is thank you for the follow, Max Shark. This is a deck that just has all the answers. It's just assembling it together, and doing all that is going to be the expressive iteration glue that puts everything together.
Yeah, I
This
know
card's
that's been a card
functional.
on people's watch list for a long time, basically since it was printed, and it's still just work.
Yeah, what we were talking about after its first release and spoiled, like this card is insane. It is quite literally now proven to be dig through time. It is probably one of the best card advantage engines we've seen since dig through time. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Am I missing anything else? Probably that was better than that.
And we had Treasure Cruise for a little bit. Treasure Cruise
Treasure
was,
Cruise, yeah,
yeah, that
Treasure
was neat.
Cruise.
Yeah, I mean, Expressive Iteration seems on the surface to be a little safer than Dig Through Time because it's sorcery speed and you only have to look at three, but that's still just good enough. Like, you don't even
Yeah,
have to like fill up your graveyard for it. You just cast it when you get it.
yeah, I do agree. It's so good. It needs to go. It 100% needs to go. In my humble opinion, being the old man shaking fist at clouds.
So, do you think it looks like Tensai has got a bunch of interaction in the main deck here? Three prismatic endings, four swords of plowshares, plus all the counter magic, plus some value creatures, like you said, the planeswalkers. But Amaru also has a lot of just very different threats as well. A lot of like redundancy built into the deck. Do you think that
Yeah.
that suits either player here more than the other?
So the main thing that we're going to be leveraging here is going to be the power of the raw card advantage of Blue Black Ninjas. There are 4, 8, 10, 12, not including cantrip cards that just literally just say draw a card onto them. And that is so big when it happens because it you can get buried underneath that card advantage so quickly. What's going to be important is Tensai has to fight over the enablers, get rid of have the swords of plowshares, the prismatic ending for the ornithopter or the baleful strix or the changeling outcast, and then from there just have the ninjas stifled in hand because paying 4 mana for ingenious infiltrator is terrible, as well as paying 3 for Yuriko.
Yeah. I mean, like you mentioned before, they also snowball. So once you have two of them out, you're drawing suddenly four cards a turn instead of one a lot of the times. And
Oh yeah.
uh, yeah, Tensai's
Good.
really got to value that removal and keeping the snowball from rolling downhill on Maru's side.
To be fair though, Retrofitter Foundry is not nearly as terrifying as it was when we were first playing against the Ninjas deck when it was at its height of power during the Discord days. Like when Clarosaurus, Quirios, and Totally Surprise were always jamming those in those events. The deck was so powerful, but after the printing a prismatic ending where everybody can answer Retrofitter Foundry in the main deck
Yeah.
effectively, it definitely it puts Retrofitter Foundry as that like no longer inevitable piece that you didn't have in your hand, have all available to you all the time.
Yeah, and I still, I think the prismatic ending is a good flexible card for legacy. It's annoying to me a little bit how flexible it is. Like just being able to kill any permanent basically for one white mana, like any one CMC thing for one white mana, feels a little bit outside the color pie to me.
It
But
is pretty outrageous. I mean, it has eliminated two of my favorite cards, being Abrupt Decay and Assassin Trophy, pretty much completely from the format. Um, Esper87, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Thank you for keeping Empty Paper Legacy alive. But yeah, like I agree, it is just too flexible. It's just too good at what it does. It homogenizes everybody into white, or at least splashing white for it. It's really good. It's really good.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I do like that it was not in the same legacy as Arkham's Astrolabe and the five color snow decks. Can you imagine? But
Okay, well, just
but,
think about this. If we're doing this to each other, Urza Saga plus Sensei Dividing Top being legal.
man, I still feel like I hated Arkham's Astrolabe more than Sensei's Dividing Top.
Wow, wow. So you would rather take like Urza Saga and Sensei's Dividing Top legal in the format at the same time than Astrolabe plus Prismatic Ending?
I think your situation is objectively worse, but I think that Astrolabe plus Prismatic Ending would be more personally annoying.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
We play a lot of creature decks, and that would be so terrible. But so speaking of the targets for it, the Retrofitter Foundry turn one gives Amaru that inevitability and also says, "Hey, you have to answer this now, otherwise
Yep.
it's just going to start just accruing so much value. Not as much as if
Exactly.
it was like an Urza Saga deck where you just like helps power out those constructs even more powerfully, but like, ugh,
Yeah, and seeing that it hit the board, I mean, Tensai has way more counters than he has ways to remove it. I believe it's strictly the three Prismatic Ending in the main deck that can get rid of it, right?
we're force willing it.
Oh, he was
Uh,
fetching. Okay,
Okay,
so he
okay,
did have
no,
a
I
counter.
like
Okay.
this. I like this. I like this because you're
Oh
playing on the
yeah,
days. There's three
yeah,
days in the main, but main deck, and you don't want to get got.
yeah. Absolutely. That was smart play. I just assumed it
Oh,
had resolved.
yeah, Amaru had the Ornithopter.
So yeah, so the Thopters from Foundry weren't going to be that scary right now since he had the backup Ornithopter, but like you said, the long game value, especially against a control deck here, control wants to grind you out of resources, and Fitter Foundry is a way to break that parity.
Yeah. Oh wait, this is a two. This is a turn two expressive iteration. Ooh, feeding the days. Okay,
Yeah.
I like both. I like
Uh,
both these plays from both these players.
Yeah, it seems a little baity to me, but like maybe he just didn't have another play for turn two, just be mana efficient.
Ooh, Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, so this is a new one. It's a ETB deals combat damage. So if it entered the battlefield during that turn and dealt combat damage, you just draw a card. Otherwise, you draw and discard a card. Is how it
Yep.
works. But
So
for that, it's a one blue mana ninjutsu.
yeah, and since he since it wasn't a Jitsu, that just is a free card then rather than comes the Ornithopter. I think that's a really fair way to balance the design. That's sort of a neat
Oh,
twist on the classic ninjutsu.
I 100% agree. And what's really cool is the way that they did that, it promotes you picking up your own ninjas over and over again to be able to repeat, get that value. So, like the Kappa one, the turtle, it has like a death touch counter on it, and you remove the death touch counter to destroy an artifact or enchantment. I played it in Pauper because then I just recycle it with like my Torch Existence, and it's great. I love it.
So back to Tensai here. He was on the play, so now he has 3 lands versus Amaru's one because of that daze. He's got a ponder here. Um,
Looking for
it
removal.
yeah. I don't think that particular ninja is like the biggest threat against you, but you let him keep that, then more swing. So
It's the fact that it triggers the ninja clause for Genius Infiltrator and the Yuriko
mhm.
in the case that Amaru slams either one of those off of the Ornithopter next turn. So because of the fact that okay, so we're not getting a ninja this turn unless there's
Ooh,
another Moon Circuit hacker.
wow. So an underground sea into a brainstorm there. Not interested in that fetch.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
that sequencing. I don't like it either. I would have
Tensai
much.
doesn't play days, right?
There's no days in Tensai's deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of missequencing there because I would have much rather been able to like fetch away or put down a fetch just in case.
It's
Um,
sure. I mean, Amaru's hand might just be gas.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So we are going to see the two swing here. I guess we could see another of the one blue magic Jetsu, right? The Moon Circuit Hacker could come in if he has a second.
Yeah,
But
I'm not seeing that. It looks like we're
yep,
doing a little bit of looting here.
that's a yeah, that's a fun mind game to just represent the see there with
Oh,
swing.
almost all of ninjas is just my games, homie. Like it's just messing with your opponent as you get in these little jabs and punches and just like, ooh, what are you gonna do? You can't block me.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the Infiltrator be discarded there, but having the second one means that you basically got your value off that one. And I really just I want or the Outcast. I'm sorry, not Infiltrator. Change on.
The Arn versus Amari matchup is the battle of the bling. Truth. We were calling for you, Bear, earlier to identify basics. Make sure we had the correct. I couldn't remember which one that island was.
Oh, the one in the
Yeah,
picture there. It
yeah,
looks
we
like
figured out.
Mercadian Masks, but I'm not
No,
entirely
it's
sure.
it's the onslaught. It's the
Oh, it's Onslaught.
onslaught 338. Yeah, Severin was able to let me know.
I don't have
Okay,
my my reference binders anymore.
yeah, that the basic collection just on point. Right?
Yeah, that was fun, but I enjoy having a house.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's like
Hunter back from
fancy
Mario.
basics or house.
Yeah. Uh,
I think this is Amaru just searching for threats. This has got to be like, like this is the problem where all the enablers have hit the field. You haven't hit any land drops, and now you need to find yourself an enabler plus a land drop.
since I found that one of Verdict off the top there, so this is not what Amaro wants to see here. He would not like to be staring down an empty board versus a control deck, but he did find a replacement Outcast there.
As for so there's a couple different reasons. The first one is predict is the reason why you also run snow basics instead of regular or basic islands. In addition to that, if you are an Ice Fang deck, and I think that's
I
pretty
think
much the
Field of the Dead is another common reason people
Field
do
of the
that.
Dead. Field of
Yeah.
the Dead. That's the other reason. So yeah. Also because of the fact that sometimes you just like those basics. I can't fault anybody for that.
Prismatic ending here, taking out the changing the Outcast. So Amaro did find a third land. I think he missed a couple land drops there while Tensai was building.
Yeah, missing land drops plus missing because we saw a lot of those turns where Amaru just didn't hit the land drop to be able to deploy a ninja and also cantrip in the same turn.
Yeah.
So Amaru was able to cantrip to the ninja, but couldn't actually deploy it at the same time. And we do
Sir.
see Tensai speeding up here now, and I think Tensai is getting ready for the kill. This is like what the control player sinks their hooks in.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, even if Amaru finds exactly one threat, I think that Tensai is sort of already turning the game around here, doing what the control player wants to do, just sort of stabilize. Tensai could match 1-for-1 all day here. I mean, Amaru does have some ways to draw extra cards, but it almost all involves having to hit with a creature.
Yeah, and we're seeing here Tensai just having
Wow.
answer after answer, and I mean that's just what these decks do nowadays. Like they
Yeah,
have they're
he
I
has so
mean
many ways to draw cards. He's going to find them
to put it in context, look how many lands that Tensai's running. Tensai's running 20 lands. That's it
in a control deck. Yeah,
in a
that's unheard
control
of.
deck. I run
He,
22 to I run 23 in my standstill deck.
yeah, I mean, he doesn't. The only higher mana spells he has are Jason, the Wandering Emperor, though, with that one Supreme Verdict. So I mean, I do get how you can save a little bit. There's not a lot of. He's not like relying on Snapcaster. It's in the deck. He's not relying on a lot of higher casting cost cards. But
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it is one of those things that you're not. Yeah, like the color requirements aren't as intense. You got the blue, white, white, and then of course the blue, red. So you can't just fit like 100% basics in here. But like four islands, one mountain, two plains, plus two tundra, one volk. Oh, one plateau. Okay, yeah. like still like
Yeah,
20 lands it seems so small. Oh, for but like expressive iteration allows you to do that sort of stuff.
that's a good point. Claris Dorix, maybe holding back a creature or two there into a known. You know that he has one verdict in the deck since deck lists are open. Uh,
Yeah,
although
it,
I guess you just have to maybe trying to get the game over quicker and fade the verdict. It just didn't work this time. But
sorry, I was
Tensai.
distracted by dog underneath my foot.
Oh no, Claire Story said in chat just pointing out that maybe would have held back a creature there
Oh,
rather than play a third creature. Oh
I
yeah.
fully agree on that. Yeah, Claristorix.
Whew.
So for anybody who hasn't been around the block, Claristorix is the ninjas as Discord is the owner, runs the whole thing. Helped, I think, wrote the primer on ninjas. So like playing around the Wrath is just so big in this deck because of the simple fact that you need enabler plus payoff, and they're both creatures. It's not like sneak and show where you can have enabler or being the show and tell with sneak attack, and then your payoff being a creature.
Baleful Strix. Are you gonna kill this one, Tensai? The was that the third Japanese foil brainstorm from Mario so far?
I do believe so.
Wow,
Oh,
that is very shiny.
yeah. Amaru recently posting those into the Discord Bling server, Bling channel. So they are actually gorgeous. And those prismatic endings just once again eating up another Baleful Strix. But to be fair, Tensai only got two cards in hand.
That's true. I mean, Tensai is not finding anything to put any pressure on Amaru either. It's literally just been answers and card draw, which is most of his deck to be fair. But sticking a Jace here would feel pretty cool, right.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, and chat pointing out they are very pretty, and Amaru has the full play set.
I wasn't sure if he had actually cast three of them or if it was just two of them, but they looked like they were pretty foily.
Oh yeah,
Whew. And we found a ninja back on the board. We'll see if this one actually gets to hit and start
camp
digging
prismatic
out of this
ending
hole
for
here.
four. Camp prismatic ending for four in this deck.
Yep, no Yavimaya to bail him out or Urborg.
I'm personally a fan of just like randomly slotting in a tropical island.
What little gotcha.
Yeah, little
Can you
gotcha.
imagine holding that supreme verdict with a tropical island in your hand though, and
Oh,
how mad that make you feel?
so true, so true.
So prismatic or expressive iteration off the top here. I think Tensai still has. It looks like several cards in hand, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
still Tensai is gonna be sitting at I think three cards in hand after all of this, but this is what we're talking about here though.
Yeah.
Tensai doesn't have the absolute raw card advantage that something like Amaru does once Amaru gets going. Tensai's been one for one and got a good, quick, solid 3-for-1 with the Supreme Verdict. But there's not okay. I was gonna say there's not been a recoupable card advantage. This Narset does help a lot, but it's not going to help on the board once Amaru gets going. That being said, hitting Narset does not trigger the Ninja.
Wendy, that is Wendy in chat. That's in the Ingenious Infiltrator. It's the retro frame for it.
Yeah, it's the retro foil frame. It's very pretty. I like it.
Oh yeah,
It
they did a good job
is.
with those retro foils. They're not as pretty as the OGs to me. I feel like the font is different, or like the highlighting of the font is something is weird about it.
I do think you are. Oh, are we seeing a main phase race?
Oh, dress down.
I think just the canter through.
Well, this will at least keep Omar from drawing any cards off that infiltrator this turn,
Okay. I
or
see.
even yeah, even if we ninjutsu something in here, it's a static effect.
Yep. If you
But
excuse
gonna
me one
crunch a little
moment,
bit,
I
I
need to
guess.
shut my window because we're getting our afternoon storms.
Enjoy. I'll keep it down here. So we are still seeing a crunch with the infiltrator here. I mean, it is a 2/3. You got to kill him at some point. Tensai already at 12 life though, rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
this chip
Tensei's been taking
damage.
those littles.
Yeah, he's he's kept himself out of the danger zone, without any snowball from Amaru or taking a ton of damage. But he also has not found a way to really like gain an advantage here past keeping the board.
Yeah, I we're seeing here Okay, okay. Force pitching. I think that's days. By the way,
Yeah, that makes sense. I
are
mean,
those foil original dazes?
yeah, those are
Ooh, that's nice. That's nice.
one of the few times that me liking English cards saves me money because woo, those foil Japanese old cards are pretty
Foil
fit.
Japanese old cards go hard. Like those players, they know what they like.
So we're seeing a counter war here. Tensai pitching Days Undoing to force back. Just keep that 2-3 off the board. Just pad the live total. Keep it clear, and you'll find a way to win the game eventually. I feel like it's sort of the old miracle strategy, right? Like keep your opponent from doing anything, and one day you'll win.
MT, MTGAA Ron. Thank you for the follow. And so in this, I think what Tensai is digging towards is the Wandering Emperor. The Wandering Emperor will take over this game as soon as it hits the field, being the fact, oh, Hull Breacher is insane in response to this ponder here. And we didn't see a
Oh,
sniff out.
and Amaru burned that. Oh, a snuff out. Wow, that
Yeah,
is
homie.
that's a hell of a card to have. I forgot that was played outside of just Death Shadow decks.
Yeah. Well,
But
it's Hoodie Weather, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so Snuff Out is because of the fact that Murktide region exists in the format, homie.
yeah, I mean, 4 life is basically nothing for him right now since he was at 22. But yeah, that's a very clean answer. Just a free kill spell there. I know that they used to play. Boy, what's Fatal Push? I used to see Fatal Push sometimes, but Snuff Out is a great replacement. It's
Yeah,
more
oh,
flexible.
that's still we still got 2 Fatal Pushes, 2 Snuff Out, and 1 Murderous Cut actually as the removal suite.
Hey, if you can't play Dig Through Time, you might as well do something with it.
Yeah,
That
well, to be
graveyard.
fair, I mean, it's not like Ninjas is using their yard for anything. They're not like they don't have any like value yard stuff. They're just like kind of just filling it. So,
Yeah, Malfi,
I,
Doc corrected me already. So we see a hard cut or a hard cut, a hardcast Yuriko here from Amaru's side. Tensai didn't have a kill spell on his turn. He could, of course, just I would have fired it off while he was tapped out, I guess. Although then you have to worry a little bit about force negation. Oh, he had dress down, and there is no negation.
I'm really liking these dress downs.
It's just been a nice way to. It replaces itself, and you deny your opponent a little bit there.
It's basically working as a stifle, and 5
Yeah.
mana Force of Will.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah. Not gonna
we're
replace
gonna
itself
get a
now.
Yuriko trigger.
Finally, a change of momentum. A ninja's gonna hit. He's gonna draw a card. He's gonna deal some damage because
Up
Tensai's
0.
been blocking that for a while now. Ornithopter. Sad.
Yeah, and I don't mind even playing the Ornithopter here because of the fact that Ornithopter allows you to play around things like either Yuriko getting bounced or like having a second ninja in hand unlocks that.
Yeah, that's a great solution to like a Teferi bounce there. Just getting the extra attacker up.
Yeah, exactly. I think actually here Tensai is under the gun. One good Yuriko flip, and this game is over.
Yeah, and there are 7 planeswalkers in Tensai's deck, and I don't think we've seen a single one of them play.
Yeah, no, we haven't. Well, we saw that Narset, but Narset hasn't been deployed yet. Oh, here's the Wandering Emperor. Do we have double days? Show me double days. Oh no, Yuriko is exiled. And Tensai gains 2. Which, by the way, that effect gains you 2. You remove the attacking creature. You
Yeah,
can do it instant speed, and then you just gain 2 life as well.
yeah, it's like a Swords to Plowshares, but they got the who gains life wrong.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, I have recently started playing with 2 Wandering Emperor in my Standstill deck, and I can't imagine playing with anything else. Like I cut Jace the Mind Sculptor for it. It's that good.
Yeah, I mean it does a lot more than Jace to help clean up the board or help you stay alive. It feels like it doesn't help you win as fast as Jace does,
Hmm.
but I mean also just ticking down to make a samurai also feels pretty fair to me.
Yeah, exactly. Swords of creature while having a deck and I fade in. Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
true. I'm actually a little surprised to see no deck fade in Tensai's list. I know that it doesn't synergize really with anything in the deck other than maybe like Snapcaster Mage, but
I think
or Hullbreacher actually.
Yeah, I think Dak Faden has there is a four color thieves, I think, if you will. It does run Notion Thief, it runs Hole Breacher, it runs the but I think that's relegated to the Strifo pile because I think they use Punishing Fire as well to also leverage that. So, which I recently did play the four color new check pile, and I got wastelanded twice and lost.
That's what happens. So
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, cool. I have a really great curve. Oh, my underground sea was wastelanded. Oh, my tundra was wasteland. I can't play this game anymore.
I I didn't ever get the unique pleasure of doing that. I did get to abrupt decay someone's thing while having a deck fade emblem, but not swords.
The best one I've heard is you
Assassin
assassin's
trophy. Yeah.
trophy. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so oh, remember that whole part about like Amaru accruing something that like little bit of advantage? Yeah, no, it's gone now.
Yeah. I mean, there's Jace. I mean, we really just since I needed anything to put any pressure on Amaru, because all he can 1-for-1 all day, but if Amaru manages to land a threat and stick it, he
Yeah,
can turn the corner.
exactly. Well, it doesn't help that this whole breacher just helped turn everything around. It's a threat
Yeah.
that ate that ponder. So Amaru was pretty much just like forced to shuffle off of it. Otherwise, you're stuck with those three cards. In
Yeah.
addition to when it comes down to it, like Wandering Emperor helped just like tie the entire thing together.
Hullbreacher is also just such a randomly good card against ninjas here.
Yeah, yeah. It does also profitably block Yuriko, which is wild. It kills Yuriko. It's a 3-2 versus a 1-3.
I didn't consider that. I was just thinking about the card draw it shuts down.
Yeah.
But that's a good
That
point too, because Yuriko's a beast.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is like Yuriko is one of the most important ninjas to have on the board. It's just not the most important to have hitting for damage.
Yeah.
Because as long as like if every single turn if you just have Yuriko on the board and you just have your changeling outcast just hitting for one, that's more than enough.
So Amaru's going to start digging here. We see cracking a fetch. I think this is in response to the attack. Is he using that?
That's a fatal push.
Oh, fatal push. Okay.
Yeah, that's the FNM promo one or game day promo one or whatever it was.
Yeah, you're right. That's the place that I have. I only had seen the fetch. I hadn't seen
See,
the
don't get me
fatal push
wrong,
happening.
I like that one. I really do. I was actually playing standard during that time. I like the full art ones that they did for the reprinted the one of the double masters or something like that, where it's like you actually see the dude falling from the airship. Like
Yeah.
I really like that flavor.
I don't remember which one that one was either, but I remember it getting so.
Yeah.
Tensai tearing down one Ornithopter with two Planeswalkers. Not even interested in bouncing an Ornithopter. Just
So that was
he,
the real question. Do you waste removal on an ornithopter?
I think that if now that Hullbreacher is gone, it's maybe more interesting to me. He is at 10 life. If he swings in with the creature, could potentially kill the Jace off. Um, no, it's hard to resist just brainstorm Jace here.
I think I would waste like a Teferi bounce or something like that on the ornithopter. I don't know if I'd be willing to waste removal. Oh, unless it's like my only removal is prismatic ending, then I have no problem just absolutely crushing that thing.
Yeah,
Just
I think
because
I'd
you just
rather. I'd be fine bouncing it, but I don't think I'd waste a swords.
yeah, I agree. Swords, you could just swords the ninja.
Uh, he's actually taking the Wandering Emperor down to make a token now, using that lightning bolt as a token. Just think flexing a little
Casual,
bit on us with the
casual flex,
tokens. Yeah,
casual flex. Yeah,
add
Tensai
all
has
these.
Tensai has his playset of Swords to Plowshares all the way already on the way over to him. So
Yeah, I think
Tensai's playing for the next playset.
playsets of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and Melfi, I agree with you. I think right now Tensai has an establishment of the board state,
Yeah.
but there's no clock. And with Amaru still being at 11, that's more than enough room that it takes to just slip right past. And you got to bounce the. You don't know bouncing the Ornithopter.
I I mean, maybe he just has another removal spell in his hand. Or maybe he's just okay, taking 2 or 3 and letting Mario draw a card. I'm not sure here.
I'm thinking
Uh,
so.
uh, it depends very much, Esper, on the number of ways that you have to use all that mana, like how intensive your color requirements are, and how fast your deck is. Like if you look at Delver, they typically run no basics because all of their everything they want to cast involves a lot of colored mana, a lot of different colored mana. You want to have it all on turn 1 or 2. Whereas something like Tensai's deck plays it a little slower and can afford to run a few basics. If they need a duel, they can go get it. But if they don't need the duel, they often will get basics first.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to legacy, it's not really how many you need. It's just the color requirements you go from one turn to the next. Are you trying to cast Hymn to Torok and Expressive Iteration in the same deck? Well, I'm sorry, but you're going to need like Underground Seas, Volcanic Islands, and at least a Badlands, maybe in a plateau. Like
Yeah.
the color requirements in Legacy are very uniquely specific. And so, because of that, you need to be able to balance that out. Now, of course, if you have a lot of color requirements in your deck that's like too generic and a green, like in with bad decks like I play all the time, then you can get away with a lot of basics.
Yeah. And also, if you have a way like, talk about Nick Fit and how it breaks the parity there and runs, what, 6 basics a lot of the time? Four to 6 basics?
Minimal six, minimal six. That's if you're running Nick Fit, you're running minimal six. I've seen minimal four. I don't like that because it makes it your third trigger is less effective. In addition to in the case you have to fetch basics in the very beginning because you don't want to expose yourself to wasteland, which can happen. So yeah, but enough about talking about the greatest deck in Legacy. We're talking about two awesome decks here, which I think Tensai might be demonstrating. Hey, this is pretty much how I'm going to be for the next turn. I'm just going to plus my shit, and I'm going to just. You cannot be a 3/3 first striker.
Yeah, that's a tough stat line for Amaru to beat. The We're seeing the planeswalkers here not able to, like, actually clock Amaru necessarily, but I mean that just the threat of having 3 repeatable effects every turn just really adds up here.
Yeah, exactly. And Malfi, to bring it up, we're at 49 minutes left. I think that's enough time to finish up another round, especially depending on like when we get into these sideboard games because there are some haymakers on both sides of the board.
I think it seems like both players sort of drew kind of the grindy sides of the deck here. I mean, Tensai's whole deck is grindy, but um, Amaru was just kind of on the back foot for a lot of this, just trying to stick a threat. Oh my goodness, we're seeing a fight here with a force negation taking care of the snuff out. That must have been on the
Yeah,
creature then, right? Or the
yeah,
token?
yeah. It was, I do believe.
Say that's something you do to stay alive. That's not something.
Yeah, it's very much one of those things where Amaru has recognized that 3/3 for a striker because that's a the token it produces inherently is a 2/2 with vigilance, and then you plus one and it gives you first strike until your next turn until the end of turn. So it's 2/2 first. It's just gonna keep on growing as a first striker, and that's just game over. That's literally the abyss for ninjas. So acknowledging that it's time for that thing to die, I think is the appropriate time because you can hard cast it, and then you already know that they pitched it that they recently did use a counter spell.
And he's running. I mean, not only can Tensai make more of them, he's also running out of options, right? He's already used both snuff outs and 1 fatal push this game, right? We haven't seen the murderous cut or the other fatal push. Leave.
Yeah, we haven't seen the second fatal push or the murderous cut. And if I do remember correctly, there's still 2 dazes and I think two more retrofitter foundries left.
Yeah. So far, we've just gotten the 1 token off the. I think got the second one got blown up.
Uh, are we seeing an attack with an ornithopter here?
Yeah, I guess we'll. I mean,
Oh,
he only
no.
has one mana up, so I'm not sure.
No, no, no. So I think we had. Oh, we got another. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Woo! All right,
I
yeah,
pack it up. Yeah, that's GG's. Is the wall of planeswalkers plus a 3/3 first striker. Like it's game over.
yeah.
All
There's
right.
not a lot.
Tensai takes this first round, leading into our sideboard game. So let's talk about some ninjas. So we were talking about some sideboard haymakers, and let me run you through the list that we got here, and tell me what you like here. We got two surgical extractions, two Thoughtseize, one Hercules Recall, one Null Rod, one Arcane Laboratory, little Urza Saga treasure for you. Ashiok Dream Render, back to basics, two back to basics, hex, one Narset Parter Veils, two Plague Engineers, and one Massacre. What are you liking?
Man, there's not a lot here that I really love. Like Ashiok gets you the tiniest amount of value versus Snapcaster, but I don't think that's worth bringing in. I There's not a lot of this that I love. Is there something here that really tickles your fancy? There's a lot of flexible stuff here that I think would be okay in the matchup, like especially on the play here, being able to have access to Thoughtseize might be nice. And if you're having a grindier game, the surgical might be nice. But you're not really tagging any like haymaker cards. There's nothing that you're going to hit with surgical that's just going to make Tensai lose the game.
What about so I like the two Thoughtseize. That's what I'm auto bringing in first of all. What's your opinion on Arcane Laboratory?
I think that if you're the one playing it, you can sort of sculpt your game plan around it, and it does sort of shut Tensai down a little bit from going cantrip, planeswalker or whatever. But you're also playing, six cantrips in his case, and
Yeah.
sometimes you want to cast multiple spells. I think as long as you can cast it at a time when it doesn't punish you as much as it does the opponent, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Each player cannot play more than one spell each turn. Ninjutsu allows you to do some sneaky stuff with it, and I
Yeah,
do like that. But it is very much just like this could be really punishing if you just catch on the bad end of that. So I don't know if it's an auto bring in or anything like that. I will defer to Amaru on that. But when it comes to it, I do like the Thoughtseize.
yeah,
As
Thoughtseize for sure. I really like Arcane Lab seems really nice against combo, but in a deck where I'm playing, 21 drops uh, or 0 drops, it seems a little tougher. Couple questions in the chat here. Yeah, this was the first. This was the first game of the match. Um, and someone asking, is this the semis? Since it's a double elimination tournament, it's sort of weird. We currently have these two players playing. We have one player waiting on the outcome of that, and then one waiting on the outcome of that. So, like in a traditional 8-player single elimination, this would almost be the quarterfinals.
yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
we
Yeah,
got the
so
brackets up as well that we can pull up probably and sort of show off where we are in the series here.
yeah, so
This
we
is the
are
this is
yeah,
not quite
we're
the lower bracket. There we go. So right now we're playing the game in the bottom, Amaru versus Tensai. The semifinals of the lower bracket will play Malfi for the winner of the lower bracket, and then the winner of that will play Black Sky for the grand finals.
Yeah, so we always bring this up. The Invitational is a double elimination, which then allows for a little bit of a lag time in between the top and the bottom bracket finals. But it means that Blackside Dog has to be defeated twice in order to take the entire thing down because it is a double elimination style tournament. This is what type of stuff you see at Evo and a couple other places like that, like other fighting game tournaments. We really like this because it gives everybody a chance to, if you get knocked out early in round one, don't worry, you still have a fighting chance to come all the way back and even win the entire thing.
Yeah, I mean it sucks when you've worked towards this the entire quarter of the year basically because you do 3-month seasons. If you
Mm.
just lose, if half the players are out in the first round, like that's not fun for us either. So
Yeah, exactly. But if you are enjoying what you see here, this is the MTG Paper Legacy Discord. We are a 100% Paper Legacy based webcam Discord that focuses on keeping paper magic alive. It's a really fun place to be. It's a great community. It's also a really good place to brew and learn the format because we are 100% proxy friendly. So come on out, come join the Discord, hang out, have a good time. It's just overall a good place to be.
Yep. The proxy friendly definitely makes it to where you can play a deck that you may not have all the tools to play, and if you want, you can also just proxy up 8 decks and play the whole format.
Oh,
I think
100%.
we've got people that do both for sure. Some people like to specialize in one deck, and some like to bounce around.
Yeah, and like honestly, like we don't want to gatekeep anything away from the Magic community. Legacy is a great format. It is the most interactive form. It is a format that is defined by some of the most powerful cards in Magic's history, and yet it is still like a format in which you can go turn one plains Mother of Ruins, and it's just like, it's
Crap.
really good. There's a
I
lot of
can't
decks that
deal with
really
that.
can't beat that.
Yeah.
On that same subject, I recently just played the Yori and D&T Mirror during one of my trading nights. I have never felt my brain just like shrivel up more there in my life. Like that matchup is so hard.
Goodness.
Okay.
Speaking of the turn one thoughts, you see a Vista into what is this? Double Hull Breacher, Ponder, Pyroblast, one land. A Days Undoing and a
Ooh.
Brainstorm. How
I'm
fast do you take that Brainstorm, or do you want to
I
take the
take the
Days Undoing because
ponder.
of the the Ponder? Okay.
I take the what? We take the red blast? It's uncastable.
Huh. I mean, I guess that is basically a removal spell against any ninja that you hate, and it's something he could just like top deck land and cast instantly. But I mean, yeah, casting the Ponder here to dig 3 or 4 deep, and then you have like double Hull Breacher and Days Undoing seems scary.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's just so
Because
much more that comes from this. No, I disagree with Amaro on this one. I do like taking the ponder in this. So all of you, a lot of you may know, like when it comes to my turn one Discord or Cabal Therapy, I always like to name Brainstorm because it's most impactful for the Cabal Therapy play style. In this situation, this is a hand that was determined to find their path off of Island Ponder Keep, and we don't see Amaru deploying like a ninja or anything like that.
yeah, there was no like I was expecting after he took the Pyroblast to see like turn one Ornithopter that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. It's just like what are we thinking here? And now we do have the red source, but I mean, he would have to have like top decked that, and it's just that doesn't fit right with me.
I mean, it could just be for the longer like Pyroblast is a very annoying card if you're a blue deck. If your opponent can kill or counter anything you play except for what Thoughtseize, Snuff Outs, that sort of for 1 mana, like that's annoying. Okay, so here's a Yuriko. The Pyroblast would have been annoying against that. Like I get the thought a little bit here. It's just it's so tempting for me to want to get them. It's when I have the chance, and like you're right, taking the Ponder there just like gets your opponent unless they top deck.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, that is yeah, I don't think that's really the play, but we'll see if it comes back to bite Amaro. Oh, we do see an end of turn brainstorm here because of the fact that we do need to use majority of the mana. I think Tensai is very much digging for that third land drop because if you're able to just slam Hell Breacher, that Yuriko really can't attack.
Yeah, and he does find the third land there, so I imagine we will see the creature. He might play around Days for a turn here, but I don't think in the face of like taking 5 off of a Yuriko top deck, uh, that seems hard to.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I fully agree.
I think you just want to use your mana here for your Inside. Oh, the
The plateau.
assembled the tricolor Exodia.
Tricolor Exodia.
I,
No. There's
I
a
can't think
there's
of
a
any
Jeskai,
other 3 part. Sorry.
there's a Jeskai Triome now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Savai Triumph, but Chet will fix it.
I think it's Rock.
Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, Snapcaster Pyroblast.
Okay, so I mean, right to be worried about the Pyroblast a little bit, but Sensei, of course, just finding the card he needs because that's Sensei.
That's just Tensai. Hey, I yeah, because Amaru still hasn't deployed much of anything here. Like if we had like some sort of like retrofitter or anything like that, I think Amaru just getting a little bit flooded.
Yeah, finding a retrofitter there or finding anything that can just get value over turn. I don't think there was anything in the side sideboard we really saw. Like none of the planeswalkers are going to take. Narset would be a little annoying inside to deal with.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Narset is one of those things that, because of the fact that you can only really attack it down, you don't have any effect for removal because none of your kill spells hit it. It is a little bit more difficult. That is definitely something that like Black doesn't have is an effective removal spell for Planeswalkers as well. Like what do we got? Like Baleful Ending or something like that.
Was Utter End? Does that hit Planeswalkers?
Utter End, I think that's the name of it.
Yeah,
Let's look it up.
thanks Wendy in the chat. It was Raugrin, not Savai. I mean, do you think people play Heroes Downfall these days? Oh, Utter End is the white black one.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
the
seeing.
white black one.
Yeah,
Yeah, two
thought there's
white
one you could
black.
blow it up and take damage equal to its CMC or something.
I can't remember. Chat, help us out with that one.
No, they
Uh,
just want to watch two middle-aged men struggle for 30 minutes. Fine. All right.
so Infernal Grasp or something. Yeah, like there's something. Anguish Unmaking. No, that's white black. I mean, we
Yeah,
could
I
be
want
playing
Heroes
white black.
Downfall, but not Heroes Downfall. I thought there was a newer one.
Like
Just mono black.
we could be playing white black, but like who'd be playing Dead Guy Ale in this meta? Like
Just don't.
that's crazy. No, like only like insane people play Dead Guy Ale. Love you,
So
Jordan.
we're so yeah, Tensai is trying to deploy a Narset here, which gets force pitch fours from Amaru. Still just the mediocre beats from the Snapcaster Mage there, but at least he has something going on. Amaru just seems to be drawing ahead.
Yeah, I think this has got to be a lot of just like just drawing lands, and Tensai just ponder doesn't have to show more information, stuff like that. Just gonna ride this until Amaru presents anything that's absolutely necessary, like this a Retrofitter Foundry.
Yeah,
Even then,
I imagine he makes a token and then probably gets Prismatic Ending tier. Although, yeah, Tensai has 4 cards in.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
And we know two more Hole Breachers.
yeah, well, he did cast a Brainstorm at some point, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Okay,
So it's entirely possible less
kept
are,
one
but
here. So,
you got to keep at least one.
oh yeah,
So
the
for
oh go ahead.
so for all of that don't know, our wonderful stream tech Jordan, Mr. Jack Dax is a Dead Guy AO player, and we love and respect the Dead Guy AO plan. Just got to poke a little fun at the non-blue decks in the meta, but it's cool. You can him to Trock me to the ground. Okay, yeah, true. I also owe my foreign white border scrublands to Jordan, so like I can't talk shit about Dead Guy AO.
I was thinking of Feed the Swarm, by the way. It doesn't walkers.
Ooh, Fade Swarm. Feed the Swarm does not hit planeswalkers, but it does hit enchantments.
No, I think I was thinking of Feed the Swarm. And I was just wrong. So, so we see is makes a token just to block the Snapcaster and trade. Hull Breacher is just going to come across, and Amaro's at 5. This could be all the clock that Tensai needs.
Yeah, Tensai doesn't have to do much more in this. Amaru has to be the one that presents the action. Tensai is just gonna hold up removal, hold up counter spells until it's time, and
Yeah,
just gonna ride a little 3/2 to all the way.
that's all I need to do. I mean, this is it. As much as this is definitely a hard control deck, it almost feels a little bit like Delver, where he's just like, "I'll play a Hull Breacher and I'll just say no to everything you do for the rest of the game."
Yeah, and looks
Uh,
like Amaru went to draw off of the ponder, and Tensai reminded them, like, "Hey, no, oh, I get that,"
yep,
and yep, scooped it up. All
yep.
right, so Tensai once again coming back from the early defeat and coming for the lower bracket finals against Malfi here. This is a time honored classic. This is a classic matchup. uh, uh, Malfi and Tensai Dog have been going at it for literal, like almost years at this time. Yeah, literally the nemesis. Oof, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good matchup. I'm very excited for this. But we are gonna take a short break. Let these players get some water in them. Get ready for the next round. Amaru, thank you for coming out and showing us still what ninjas can do in this meta. And Bear, got any final words before we call it a day?
Man, I'm just glad to be back on the camera. I don't think I've gotten to commentate for an invitational since the very first one because, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes for players. Mr. Jack Deck's here streaming all day for y'all. Of course, just glued to his seat for 8+ hours for these usually. So a lot of thanks, Mr. Jack Dex, and then all the folks doing the table spotting behind the scenes. Feed us the fresh information for y'all, so we can, we know what people name with Cabal therapy. We can stop the action if we need to, that sort of thing. But other than that, no, just come join us. We love to play Magic over there.
All right, we'll be back shortly, everyone.